mean when you say consistent aggression? Because they did do a lot of aggression on the
Well,
CT side.
I wouldn't say they did a lot of aggression. I say that they were passive for quite a lot of it.
A main, B storage, quite a lot of pressure. A lot of pressure,
Complexity?
Man. Yeah.
On the city side?
Yeah. Well, oh my god. This Android guy, man.
Tell me about him, Dan.
What is with this guy?
How do you feel about him?
He's wrecking heads. Death's in there as well. Okay, this is looking like a pretty nice pistol round there. Just basically you running all over the place. It's not too not too eloquent, not too elaborate. As you would expect from pistol round there. Nice connections from complexity, and they will win another pistol round.
Easy.
Very nice. I mean, they won both pistol rounds on the first map as well. So that is 3 for 3 for them, which is very beneficial. That is for sure. And this is quite nice because the players on towards A aren't supposed to get that many kills necessarily. They're supposed to get a kill maybe, just distract the other team. But no, get the kills, win the round. One thing Complexity were pretty good at was these anti-eco rounds. That is something that I will say. So it'd be nice to see that continuation here as well, that continuity of success on the anti-ecos. They have 4 Molotovs, which is great. Those can be used. They probably will be used on A. That's what they did previously, oftentimes. Get those Molotovs in on the A-bomb site. And there we go, get some action on towards A, and they will be pleasantly surprised to even find that there's nobody even there.
Pleasantly surprised. Uber having a butchers in mid with the P90. All the CTs. Oh, look at that. Only 1 kill, Ape. Come on, man. He went too wide, Dan. He went too wide. He went too wide. Oh, man. Oh, he's run out of bullets, Dan. That's disappointing. He finished him off with a Glock. He had a P90. How do you have a P90 and get last kill with a Glock? That's shameful.
Did he really run out of
You
bullets?
got 50 bullets, bro.
I don't think he ran out of bullets.
Why is it slowing down?
Yeah, he didn't run out of bullets.
Oh, what a wuss.
I thought so. I was
That's
like,
even more disappointing. He's
I
a coward.
I was sure that he wasn't shooting for that long. I was thinking, did he have a prior engagement? I don't know. But now we're going to have a stack from NRG on the A-bomb site. And that is indeed where Complexity have been going. But the thing is that even if you stack that site, if they run the same set piece and execute it properly, they should all die in fire, basically. In the fire, in the flames.
Die in a grease fire.
That is why it is such an amazing round to run, because it's not like you can fix the problem by stacking players there.
An old saying in the UK, when you really don't like someone, is die in a grease fire.
In a grease fire? Oh, that's even worse than just a normal fire.
There's actually there's a series called Hold That Thought, Dan, because Android X has been completely wrecked. We got a 5 versus 3, and it's the ecoing team with the 5. Make it 4. Bomb heading towards B. But again, we've got Uber with that P90 putting in work. Asimov, no less. I would have more respect if it was a death by Kitty, though. And he is in a position to clean up the round. He's got... Oh, no, he's not. No, he's not. No, he is not. So Fugly's picked up a P90, which is the best gun in the game. He's thrown it to Peter and got himself an AK. They can save these... They can roll with... Well, Peter can't roll with a P90. He wants an AWP. P's in the wrong place. But someone can roll with the P90. If they play close mid, they can go for the P90. If Fur can play close mid with a MP9, then they can do it with a P90.
Well, all is well for Complexity anyway. I mean, they're going to be, despite losing 3 players, the previous round was pretty clean, and even though NRG pick up a couple weapons here, Complexity's money was going to be pretty good. Oh, will they find Fugly? I don't think. Okay, they won't find Fugly, but either way, NRG were coming with their first buy round, and Complexity, they actually had a fairly okay T side.
He's spamming.
It was the CT side where they struggled, so maybe having the ability to start on the T side this time will be much more beneficial for them. Maybe that will be the difference maker in this second map, second cash between these two teams.
You raise a good point. Because with, let's say their T half was a mirror of the last T half, you have to wonder if NRG would perform as well.
Yeah.
Considering it's not the end of the map once this half reaches its conclusion. Who knows? Tabson playing off close. There's a nice angle there on pistol rounds, by the way. Def. That's not a good way to go.
I like that he went for the kill even through the flames. I think that was awesome. That was actually worth it as well, actually. That was definitely worth it.
I can be your hero, baby. I can take away the pain.
Isn't it? I can kiss away the pain.
I'm not kissing any pain.
All right. Well, the effect of that man lost early on does split up the defense quite considerably, and they're just waiting. And part of it is the fact they can't get the information plays. They can't see this push coming before it happens. That's one of the benefits of Def, well, just sacrificing himself and getting that kill. And now NRG are in a position which is somewhat unwinnable. P90 and an M4. Leggy is very far away. They are not winning this round. And Complexity lost only one player, which was Def, who sacrificed himself for the greater good.
He did.
It's worked out so well. This is why typically in those spots, what you're looking for from the CT side is actually to go aggressive in either B storage or in A main towards the lockers.
Ding dong. That P90 continues that. Oh no, he swapped it out!
But yeah, if you get that aggression going, the effect is that you can figure out where the Ts are pushing, because normally if the Ts get you know, a 5 versus 4 that early, or even a 4 versus 4, they are likely thinking, okay, we're going to move out of a picking strategy. Now we want to take a part of the map or go for a bomb site. And so essentially NRG didn't do that. They just waited, meaning that they never know what's going to happen until it happens. And that's the problem. You get run over on the bomb site.
Surreal. Does he have a forward enough spawn for this? Ooh! Almost took his zero off Tyson style. Legia will fall anyway. But to Android X. 23. 2 players per site. Got B going for a push this time. Last time NRG did this, they didn't even put someone there. But this time they will. But his gun sucks. For example, if T's move into vents, then he's going to have difficulty killing them from that position because of the damage fall-off of the UMP at distance. 2.5 players for NRG over towards the A site, and indeed, the A site it shall be. Minute 10 on the clock, down goes Fugly, caught unawares. That's a glorious flashbang. How many can he get? Another flashbang coming in, but it's not enough. The box saves Uber, and he'll trade. The advantage, and positionally and numbers-wise, is with Complexity. Got B coming for a flank through the middle area. Android towards short. It's going to be stuck in a crossfire. Bit of a sandwich. And he's dead.
So a lot of time already gone on the bomb. Will they still go for it? Godby does have a kit. If he gets lost and Peter's not in his vicinity, in proximity to the kit, then there's going to be a problem there. Ooh, Def is found, but the frags will not go the way of NRG. This is looking very good right now for Complexity. This is a great start for them. And one thing that we haven't seen yet is that B set piece. And NRG can't just try to go for the blind preparation as they did previously for that set piece where they abandoned the B bomb site entirely. That is not something that they can just do straight away because they don't know when it's going to come. And that's the beauty of it. NRG, or rather Complexity, will probably save that round until maybe even NRG's next buy round. We'll have to wait and see. It definitely seemed like one of their strong go-tos to deal with buy rounds.
This is currently, if I'm not mistaken, a mirror of the second half of the last game so far. Nothing but consecutive rounds for Complexity. NRG spread out at the moment, don't have the numbers game. In previous ecos, this is a force, no, it's a eco or half buy. They stacked all the numbers in one place, but currently they are spread out somewhat. Android X venturing into uncharted waters, perhaps. And now Def is going for a 1 versus 1. Could see that happening in my mind's eye. That's 2 guns, I think, collected for the CT side, and they've got themselves a man advantage. And now Uber's moving over towards B on his own as well. Seems these guys like their 1 versus 1s. Surreal will take Tabson down. That's fortunate at this point for Complexity. This anti-eco not looking like the best one that we've seen so far. Uber going to die in isolation. So that's 3 players who have died in 1 versus 1s for Complexity, putting them in a in this situation, play for both sides, tagged. Still going for the open plant there. A risky business, but it pays off.
Yeah, Complexity have narrowly avoided some very awful situations, but it might get pretty bad now. Just Ape against God B and Peter, they're pretty weak, so he might have a good opportunity to get this done if he's able to find God B quickly. Oh, Peter though, just crouch peeking the angle, takes down Ape straight away, and Peter will be able to defuse. NRG get the first round on the board. They did lose 3 players, however, but the AWP is collected at least. Peter actually needs some armor, interestingly.
Yeah, it was a half buy from them. It wasn't a full buy. They pistols. Well, some had pistols in Kevlar, but he's obviously saving for the AWP, so
the monies.
He has to sacrifice.
Yeah, so really nice timing to win a round. And Complexity, they didn't build up that much money just yet. I think last time they were much more successful at building a massive bank.
Yeah, that was a bad round for Complexity.
Yeah, it was really bad. Considering, as you say, they said their anti-ecos have been so good. That one was very sloppy, and all things considered. A lot of weird situations. And here it is. This is the round that I was talking. Well, actually, it's not quite the round that I was talking about, or is it? No, they've used most of the utility already.
This isn't a Titan round. This is just a slow burn. This is the current standard grenade execute to force the CTs out of checkers. Makes it really hard to defend the B bomb site, but Legia's moved into a position which was previously Molotoved. So normally in that situation you would move as a T into checkers, but maybe they're trying to suggest a fake or something. But they've got no map control, so they don't know what the response of the CTs are. So they're all just standing outside B, literally. That's what they're doing at the moment.
Yeah, it's like not quite like matchmaking, but almost that level of what now guys sort of style where you haven't gotten the pick, and so no one feels comfortable to progress, but they've got to move in. They've used almost all their grenades, and that's really the problem. Here goes the rest of them. They have to capitalize upon these, and Legia's just sitting there in a forward position, unawares they are until it's too late. 3 kills going the way of NRG quite quickly here, and they are holding down the bomb site. They've used up all their Molotovs, so they can't force the players off the bomb site, and now it's just Surreal left. So this round did look quite uninspired, and as if they didn't have any proper backup plans, or if we should get no frags here, what is the follow up? Which you should have a plan for all eventualities. Should things go right or should things go wrong? And in this case, they just stood around a lot outside of B, and they gave plenty of time for NRG to rotate.
Yeah, I don't understand. They executed the smoke in front of B, the Molotov, so to ensure that nobody's under the vent. They didn't have any map control. There was nobody towards A, because you could combine that with a Molotov in the vent, or if you're going to be slow after those nades, have someone else there to pull people away, or put a T player in the vent itself, like the checkers area, but not doing that cost them. And now they're in a situation where they have an open 3 pistols.
Yeah, it seemed very incomplete what they were attempting there. Either way, it's unfortunate because they've sort of given up the advantage that they had to NRG with that round, and it's a shame they didn't just go for that, the G2 Molotov set piece onto the B-bomb site. That would have been very successful, I think. Either way, it's an entry frag from Surreal at least. Oh, wow. Stealing away the AWP there is Uber. Finds the timing onto Peter. Now things get very interesting. If Complexity were to take this round, that would be huge. But tabseN creeping amongst the smoke, and he kills all 3 players like a silent assassin. Nobody spotted him. He just walked into the middle of the site. No one spotted him through the smoke. Nobody. That is disastrous. That's very unfortunate. They had a great opportunity there.
Yeah, that's a big save for NRG, who looked in a lot of trouble. tabseN just 1 by 1. It's interesting to see how much he drags his mouse around. He must have a very low sensitivity, which is part of why my hands are screwed. But also because I play on a bureau, and my chair's too low, and this and that, and yeah.
I feel like your mouse. No, I feel like the way that you use your mouse is for like a high sensitivity, but you use a low sensitivity as well.
I don't have space to put my arm on the desk because I have a bureau.
But you should fix some of these things.
Yeah, I should. At least I've come some way since I started in 1.0 1.6, 1.4, whatever. Well,
What,
I
you
didn't
mean
have a mouse
15
pad.
years, 15 years ago.
I didn't have a mouse pad down. I went to land with no mouse pad.
So you talk about 15
Different
years
table.
ago.
I couldn't aim at all. Peter spots a player on the boost. Well, straight in the face. Depth decapitated. It's real down to the Tech 9 at the moment. Maybe he can rescue a gun. A minute on the clock. Complexity do not yet have control of the middle area. Tapson's decided he's going to... Oh, never mind. Peaks slightly too early. Surreal takes the head, but doesn't take main. Fugly headed towards main now, trying to find out what's going on. Maybe he deployed a nade in there, I'm not sure. There's no smoke in main. And again, 35 seconds, and Complexity are charging towards the B bomb site where he didn't have any map control. The flashbang is messed up by Surreal. And this is going to be a calamitous situation. Or is it? Trades and flashbangs coming in. Variant, 17 seconds. Godby's on the site. Very important position, leaving Uber alone now. And he will get insta-traded by Peter. So these rounds not going well for Complexity. I mean...
It's just a lot of messy stuff going on. Like, some rounds look kind of good, and then there's a lot of messy stuff as well. The general structure seems to be a little bit up and down. Either way, moving forwards, they're back to the save. And NRG, they're going to be really happy right now. I feel like they've been led into the game, I feel like. I really feel strongly about that, to be honest.
Yeah, Complexity have just thrown their economy away. They've thrown their lead away. They've thrown the pressure on NRG somewhat away. I mean, NRG is still low money because they have taken a lot of damage in some of these rounds where Complexity have been on eco. Now Complexity have the whole Mandem behind the smoke with 3 flashbangs. Fugly's blind, which allows the T to get close. Counter flashes coming in, but all the flashes deployed of the Complexity team. And that's a chance for NRG to make money. So this is why I find it quite interesting when teams play the same maps against each other in a row, because I would expect to see more creative differences as opposed to falling to pieces.
Yeah.
But indeed, Complexity have fallen to pieces.
I mean, also, for example, that last round, if you're going to do a rush onto the A-bomb site, and I don't know why you would choose the Deagle over a Tech 9. If you're going to have to run most of the time you're shooting, you're going to want the Tech 9. If you're rushing a bomb site, Tech 9s are way better than the Deagle.
That would suggest to me that there was no plan when at the beginning of the round.
Yeah, I mean, because I mean, having only Deagles is really viable. It's absolutely. I think it's quite cool, but you know the round has to reflect that. Or you have to play around the strengths of the gun. You can't, I mean, just imagine just the feeling of rushing into the A-bomb site with a Deagle. It feels awkward. Because you have to stop and take shots, and it's not the same kind of style of play that fits that gun, generally speaking.
Yeah.
For example, we've seen teams do. I think earlier in Europe we saw them double. No, we just saw one Mirage. But I remember one team they bought just Deagles. I think it was FaZe. They just bought Deagles, 5 Deagles. But on Mirage that's awesome because on the T side there's loads of spots where you can pick with the Deagle, and they found picks all over the place because that's the kind of engagements you can that works well with the gun. So it's yeah, as you say, it does seem kind of strange.
Yeah, you need to be a moving target, and the Tech 9 moving accuracy is 5 point something. It's like it's so moving inaccuracy. It's so it might be 7 actually. Whatever.
It's amazingly
good. It's undeniable.
It's so good. Those ranges you're playing with as well actually make it again like the Deagle is really good as well because some of the long ranges that the rifles I feel comfortable taking engagements against you as an ecoing team, they're going to take those. They'll be finding that they're up against you with a Deagle, and the Deagle will one-shot kill someone at that range as well. So that's like another plus of the Deagle. Whereas in the mid ranges, the Tech 9, you can spam it so quickly, and the accuracy is not as bad because it's mid range. So you know you're getting more, you get way more value, and it's cheaper as well. So you can make the difference in a smoke or a flashbang if you wanted to spend $700. But yeah, it's a funny one. Anyway, they had a pause, James. They had a break, and nice aggression there from Peter. He's going to wreck Surreal straight away. The push comes in. The walk through the smoke there from Android. I like the boldness, but Fugly will easily deal with that. Although Android did kill Peter, actually, as they move forwards, and blinded, but not able to mess that one up. Ape gets the frag. Very nice done. 3 versus 3 now, as the retake comes in.
Through the flames, through the smoke, through the flashes, the CT side will come. NRG wiping out Complexity. Death's coming in from the back, but it's not planted for him. And there's a smoke down. Hero Diffuser's coming in. Can indeed be your hero. Depth still holding the angle, but he wants to hold on to that gun.
Okay, I tell you, there's 2 people, James, that I'll allow the deagle in any situation, regardless of whether it makes sense.
Simple and...
Yes, and you should be able to get the other one as well.
Nico?
Yes. Simple and Nico.
Tabson's often good, but again, well, he's not on Complexity, so... Yeah. But Simple and Nico have been standouts.
Yeah, some people are allowed, like some players are so good that they break the formula. They break the equation because they can change the percentages because they're so good with that one thing, and it makes it viable no matter what situation. Kind of like a a JW or a KenES, like really close range with the AWP.
JW.
It's like if you put them in those spots, they're very comfortable. They're really comfortable and very good at the clutch AWP situations. So it makes sense. They can do those plays consistently. So then it becomes a good play. But for you don't want to build stuff like that around teams that can't do that. So speaking of AWPs,
so they've stopped doing the grenades over towards B now.
yeah,
They've chosen to go for raw peaks there when NRG have won 6 rounds in a row.
It's unfortunate because I felt like they had a really nice execution. It worked a couple times quite strongly but we haven't really properly seen the full thing since then. Actually,
are they going to check the other side of the smoke?
Like you're so happy right now. Oh, in midair, get wrecked.
Yeah, he would have got the other kill, I think, if he hadn't jumped. But I don't know, man. It's like the coffee machine is broken.
Yeah.
What's happened?
Yeah, I mean they're looking great. It's just a shame that they were not able to, in the moments when NRG were at their weakest, they weren't able to essentially compound their advantage, and instead their advantage kind of they couldn't play the advantage correctly, and then now NRG are back into the game.
They needed to exploit, and they needed to be exploitative.
Yeah,
whichever one of those it is. They need to exploit, but they didn't.
And it does seem as well since that moment they haven't recovered really from both a calling perspective, I suppose, and also
a what?
A calling perspective,
okay,
as well as perhaps an individual perspective as well. The consistency seems to be a little bit all over the place. I'm not sure. We'll see if they have a successful round now. They have a decent buy actually. Will we see the G2-esque set piece into B, or he's going to try to clear out checkers and stand there again?
That's a good question, Dan. The Molotov may slow their timing, but I see they have Molotov of their own. Again, you can force Peter off that angle with a Molotov without even facing him. Either way, they get the kill. Got to be on the site. Got to be careful of these smoke grenades. Got to be with a very sneaky position. Tabson's coming in from the back, Dan. He's coming in from the back. They've boosted out of the vents, but they don't have a man advantage. And there goes Surreal as well. They have a brief positional advantage. Android X, where is he headed? Okay, he's gone for a safe plant, tried to expose the bomb to mid. I would love to see a hero run all the way down main, back into mid again. But here he is.
Against 4 players.
Yeah, do it, man. Look, they wouldn't be ready for it. They would not be ready for it. They would spend,
They probably would have defused the bomb already.
Mate, if I went for the hero rotation, I would have won the round. Good damage done to the NRG side. Well, as far as within the round is concerned, but unable to convert. At least they got the bomb plant down. That will be a bonus to their bonus, which is maximum loss bonus. 2 rounds remain. Complexity won the last 5 rounds. Since then, they have barely had a look in. It's been like 2 different teams.
Yeah, it really has. And if anyone's curious about the round that I'm referring to, that G2 round, I think it may have been the last video that I made on set pieces actually on my YouTube channel.
That
so
must have been ages ago.
Yeah, so you can find it. It's
should make some new videos.
Shows every POV of the players on G2 back when Existence was in the lineup. But here is a quick play into the bomb site. Very simple stuff, just run and gun. Let's see if Peter can get some good shots off. That is a pretty decent shot, taking down Android, one of the star performers so far for the Complexity side. Oh, that is a great Molotov, forcing Uber out in the open, off of the bomb plant. But now it's just got B that he finds himself an unknown angle, takes down 1 player for free. Do they know where he is? They must have worked it out by now. Surreal's looking. Oh no, he looks away. GodP gets himself an easy frag, leaving just the weak player left alive. 21 health. The grenade took 4 health off of him, down to 17 now, as GodP works his way into this 1 versus 3 clutch. It's looking good. Oh wow! He came off the angle just at the wrong moment. It was close, but GodP will die, and the clutch will not be made. And Complexity are back in with a round. It's been so long. It's been a long 8 rounds of suffering and pain.
Yeah, it has. They fell off, Dan, like a rapper who's made too much money and only has money to rap about. That's when you should stop making albums. One more round. Who knows what's going to happen in the second half? I honestly have no idea.
Yeah.
At this point.
Yeah,
it's this. I feel like this is absolutely anyone's. It's impossible to favour one of these teams at the moment. Def is boosted. And there appears to be a counter boost, but who will be prepared? Oh, hello. Jack in the box. I'm going to make my exit. They will not want this toy. I would like a refund, sir.
I thought for a second Tabson was just going to run straight through the smoke in the T warehouse and just go for it.
Oh, Peter, what kind of angle? That is,
Oh,
I mean,
wow.
his gun is called Dirty Peak Peaked, and I respect that because that's disgusting. It's not even dirty. It's horrible.
I love that gun name. He's had that for ages, or at least that name tag. Dirty Peak Pete's.
That is a
Dirty
nice angle, indeed. I should try that one day. I'm inspired. I take some of Peter's angles. He's got some nice angles. The days of Orpez, T-side Orpez jumping into...
Oh, maybe he's timed out.
lagged out. See, when these team kills come in, Dan, I just get confused, man. I honestly think, like, I just feel like people have joined the dark side. Anyway, there's still a round to happen. 5 versus 3 last round. All the T's just running raw with no grenades left into the A bomb site. Surreal gets 1 frag. Fugly coming in and getting taken down. Now it's Uber alone versus 3. Few seconds on the clock. Too much to ask. Their players back on the server. I had to take a moment there, Dan. I feel like one day, I just keep seeing the heel turn in my head. Like it's wrestling. Like one day some dude's just gonna be like, just kill his team and be like, I'm done with you guys. I'm joining your bitter rivals, XYZ. I've secretly signed a
Like Alicia to the Major.
Yeah. Because it was off camera.
Yeah.
And our chat was disabled. I just thought he's somehow killed not 1 but 2 of his teammates.
That was really confusing. Because also at that moment, because the tension of the match was so high,
Yeah.
it's like you can't possibly conceive that it's anything except serious. Yeah, that was amazing.
It's not I mean, sometimes when the game is not live, people just start shooting each other.
Yeah.
But there was nothing prior to that to suggest it wasn't live.
It's like the middle of a round.
And then we just seen a kill feed. Two people are dead from team kills.
It's the middle of a round.
Yeah.
So you kind of assume that they tried to entry frag somewhere and like they ran in front of him or something.
Yeah.
Then it turned out it's just like in team main and no one else is there. No CTs are there.
I've seen 2 people naded by a teammate at once before. I don't remember who, but I've definitely seen that. Right then, second half is about to begin. And we will bear witness to this with no expectations whatsoever.
I mean, NRG had a really good T-side previously, so you kind of expect them to have the edge here. Oh, they're all blind. Oh, no.
3 blind mice, Dan. 3 blind mice. That is unfortunate. They were making a play, and they got played.
That was pretty decisive. Android's been pretty good, but this is pretty tough. Oh, he's very dead, isn't he? He is very dead.
Peter said he jumped in his chair. Let's not talk about it. I hope he didn't break his leg. Tabson's like, you what? So Peter got taken down. Tabson just cleaned up and cleaned out the rest of them. That's not a good start for Complexity. Complexity who fell apart to some degree.
Well, that's NRG's first pistol round victory at the best possible time as well, to be honest. However, NRG did falter on some anti-ecos rounds. So let's see if they can actually pull out something good here. They take middle away.
Yeah, it looks to be going for a fast one, but they're smartly not committing to a fast play up short because you never know what's around the corner. Android X taken down on a push from B. In Toxic, he gets eliminated. And that may lead NRG there. They have Tabson coming from the outside, round the outside, round the outside. Legia holding down the middle area while the rest approach the site. There is a Molotov, but doesn't probably cover default. Everyone charging through the smoke. The spray down will be enough. Def is alone on the high ground versus 4. There's no way he wins this. So that's damage limitation for NRG.
Damage limitation.
Damage
yes.
has been limiterized.
Well, they managed to pick this one up, so that's good. That is always good to see. Anti-eco rounds correctly won, and 11-6 is the score. 2 MAC-10 is still in play, which is good. I mean, they can just run into a bomb site. They should be fine here. Like, they're gonna get those long-range MAC-10 engagements. Always nice. I mean, they suck, but it's okay. His teammates there to clean up. Tabson though went down to 4 HP, which is a little bit annoying, but should be fine. Peter's found himself a MAC-10 though. He's found himself a MAC-10, and he's going to pick up a kill onto Android as well.
Nice.
So MAC-10s, they are fun. They're quite satisfying to kill people with anti-eco MAC-10. That is actually really fun.
I thoroughly enjoy a MAC-10, especially on a T-side of overpass, as opposed to T-side where you can't buy a MAC-10. Where do you most like a MAC-10, Dan?
Well, far away from me.
What kind of redonkulous answer is far away? That makes little sense.
I think it makes a lot of sense.
We're talking about... Oh, never mind. Surreal's in position over towards B. He'll be playing solo 3 towards A. And this may be good timing for Complexity on their buy. The pop flash, though, may thwart the plans of the T side, but how many kills can he get? The trade's coming in. Both directions, and the site is taken. I was going to say, if that flash doesn't come in, maybe they ruin the bomb coming out, but have they done enough? Well, they've got 2 versus 3, so perhaps not. Surreal holding angles from connector, but nobody's holding an angle back. Where you jump onto the top of A would be where he'd be looking for a kill. Legia's over towards Forklift, and Complexity have decided to save. So they look good to save these 2 weapons, but their money does not look good at all. And NRG's money will be headed in the right direction. 13-6. Complexity perhaps in a leaking ship there.
Yeah, it does definitely feel like NRG are really far ahead right now. And, you know, NRG made a lot of mistakes, but Complexity have, I feel like in this map in particular, really fallen apart in many spots. Much more so than NRG. NRG still, I mean, NRG look fairly consistent in the realms in which, you know, in the places where they make mistakes and so on. It seems there's like some consistency there. But Complexity, as you said, it looked like another team from certain spots. So let's see if they can turn the tide here, because this is one of the last chances they're going to get to have a buy round, and it's not the best looking buy round either. UMP, couple FAMAS. Cyril's going for the aggression there towards Dot. Oh, I think he actually backed away a little bit too soon there. I think there was possibly a chance for a challenge. Either way, it's always good to be safe regardless. And Gobby is looking for a frag. Almost had an opportunity there. Nice flash in there. That's Uber with a frag onto Gobby. That's beautiful stuff. That's the way to do it. Now Legia is coming in for some action as well, trying to win, or trying to get a one-on-one to win. Another flash comes in, which almost then kills Legia with the follow-up. This is great stuff so far for Complexity.
Man, just bullets flying through smoke, and people are falling on either side. Ape staying over towards the B bomb site for the time being. Def making sure there's no flank. NRG somewhat stuck around A main. There's still 50 seconds left. And it's just about peeks and pot shots now. Jules, raw Jules, and Peter's been taken down. He looks a fugly to try and clean things up. Speaking of the devil, there's 2 kills for him. 2 more to find though. Down goes Uber thanks to Tabson. Taking some damage from his teammate as well. Now it's Ape, the guy who was waiting on the B bomb site with a very, very late rotation. on this occasion with all that action happening. tabseN playing the blind spots by Forklift. Is Fugly holding an angle? He is, but didn't seem prepared for that. tabseN pops out. Casual kill for him. Again, Fugly, the one-man cleanup operation, taking it over the line there for NRG. And now things will get harder and harder for Complexity. NRG 2 rounds away from this map off cache. Bonk. Atomic Punch.
Yep, it's NRG now with Complexity on their last legs, off balance. Just need to blow at them, and they will fall over. They're so off balance. Can Android get this working, this push? Looks like they actually are going to back away a little bit and leave Android to his own devices, but will he actually go further forwards, or are they just going to try to make NRG believe that they've got just one guy there alone? I'm not sure exactly what Complexity's play is there. They didn't get too much info from that, actually, in the end. And they still have 2 people on B. So I guess they were just looking to catch some early aggression there, but they did not, unfortunately, for Complexity. And now it's NRG with that mid-control once again. They've got a really funky position on God B. That's awesome. Look at where he is, just so deep on short. He's going to walk through the smoke, isn't he? Oh, no, this could be huge. God B gets spotted by Uber. That is really nice. Had God B been able to move forwards unspotted, that would be the round over probably.
Yeah, that's the kind of play we're talking about. And now we see a proper smoke deployed. Bot flash coming in. That could be absolutely fatal when it is. The bomb goes down. 4 versus 2. tabseN with a forward position, however. Has he spotted the other player on default? If he kills Surreal, it may not matter. Fugly's gone down, so now tabseN has to pick the right duels. Flashbangs coming in all over the place. Can he get a 1 versus 1 here? Moving on to the site. He's still got time to fight somewhat. But the fight's been taken away. How much money do NRG have? Complexity with half the score of NRG, and they will have no issue buying Will NRG in this round. So we'll see some limitations on Complexity's buy. The FAMAS coming out onto Uber. Will he have any grenades? Good grenades, so he sacrificed the M4 to get the grenades, as has Surreal. But full utility coming from NRG.
And then NRG have been pretty good at taking middle away from Complexity. I think Complexity haven't invested too much oftentimes in trying to stop that from happening. Like we haven't seen many 1-3-1 setups. This round actually we will see a 1-3-1, which is quite cool, with Def below the boost spot. So we'll have to see if NRG do go for that 1 minute or so mid take, like kind of delayed middle take. If they do, I mean we saw this earlier actually, Legia like throwing the Molotov into the vents and way before his teammates actually were pushing. This is much better timing. Molotov has gone, but it's much sooner afterwards, and Gobby will catch Def as well. So that's really good stuff from. That's an improvement from NRG this time around.
1 minute, 1-man advantage for the T side. No vision of mid anymore for NRG, and it appears the B split is on. The mid vent is open. Android is in trouble, and now he is done. NRG in a position to trade, and there's a trade onto Ape. That's an open B bomb site. We may be looking at match point. Could go for a flash through CT for a teammate to peek, but it won't be. Fucking just gonna brazenly block his teammate there. So Uber and Surreal, 2 versus 4. What can they do in this situation? They won the last round, which means they are going to have $1,400 for losing this one. This is these are dire straits for the Complexity side.
And I like this round from NRG. I mean, you know, just from their perspective alone, it was pretty simple. It was made pretty simple, I think, by Complexity. But you know, just the it was a basic, a cash basic. You get the mid control, you get the kill there, which is always nice. Then you have the opportunity to split on B opened up. Then they play well into checkers to entry correctly onto the B bomb site. They get that kill as the split's happening. They take the B bomb site. Really simple, basic stuff on cash. And here is the first kill there in middle. So it's just really basic stuff in this round. And the basics are what allow you to get to, like, you need amazing basics to get to tier 1. That is the must. And the basics with the least amount of mistakes, almost no mistakes, hopefully, to then allow you to do more complicated stuff without being exploited too much. NRG find themselves on match point, and look at the buy here for Complexity. It sucks.
Better than I thought it would be, as bad as it is. So no one in mid for NRG. Complexity desperately trying to hold on to the B bomb site. Maybe all those nades towards B, the result of the third man there, or even the second man there. Android X playing in checkers again. Tabston holding passive angles towards mid, as Fugly is holding off angles towards B. Trying to catch people looking the wrong way. So we may see a slow mid-take from NRG as Surreal rotates back in that direction. Uber and Depth pretty deep in A. Uber's going for jumping peaks into main. So again, Complexity, this is a kind of passive round I was talking about, where once NRG go for their push, there may be little they can do about it. That said, Android gets himself a P250 kill onto Fugly.
Death is, he will die a death though, a violent death. Will Death die?
Stop.
And Ape is in position here. This is a pretty good position. Android X has a somewhat of a, not really a crossfire, but they have two nice positions to take the kills from. Oh, it's not really going to go too well for them. Luckily, though, Surreal gets in there, and Complexity will just win the round. So, fair enough then. They just win the battles there as they start to stream into the B-bomb site. So, NRG a little bit disjointed right at the end. And they are actually in trouble, because their money is actually going away. This is them going to be spending almost all of their money. So, I mean, look at this. Well, it's spending all their money.
Look at this.
We got Tech9 and CZ out. Lack of grenades. They can't really afford to play a drawn-out round here, especially with the pistols. You want to get, everybody in together really. And so an A set piece, that looks like what they're gearing up for. That really would be, I think, a good way to handle this round. I say set piece though, but I think will just toss nades in and just go. I think this will be too pre-planned.
Well, that's one way to start things off. Just raw running, dying with all the utility perhaps. Tabson's got 4 grenades, but his whole team are dead, so it's not really even safe for him to deploy his grenades in this spot. Fugly pushing through the smoke, but it's...
I mean, that's what I find weird about this round though, right? Because this round is almost even stronger if you run the set piece, but like one of the, let's say it's like an anti-force by anti-eco type set piece with all the Molotovs and stuff. That's like a really good round to run it, because you've got the pistols that can run really deep and draw fire. They can have good moving accuracy and stuff like that. It's like it becomes a really nice round then. But as you say, like we've got players dying with full utility. Like it feels like they're just running in, and they must have the drills. They must have the drills, James. They picked the map.
Goodbye. Goodbye. This round will be a brief one. Again, Peter's going to have nightmares of all these flames sending him into the abyss. So we have, and this is an interesting thing. Are we going to see a double eco now from NRG? So that force buy, I mean, bearing in mind I need to win one round, I suppose they can go for the force buy as a calculated risk when Complexity's money is not perfect, it's not sublime. But now the pressure's going to start to rise. And again, they are dying with the utility. Eventually. the counter flashes from the CTs are flying in, and they're blinding everyone. So they're all just shooting, it's just everywhere. Completely blind. It's like blind darts with no direction.
Whilst drunk, because that's how you play darts. In this country, at least, you got to be drunk. It's actually amazing. If anyone's watched like a darts competition, everybody's just like hammering.
They're mad
pints.
hype, man. They're mad hype.
Everyone's just drunk.
Anyway, NRG's next opportunity. They're back on the full buy, more or less. But Complexity are in a much better situation, and they're only 4 rounds away now. Complexity from another overtime. This time, Surreal will hold his ground in mid, but he's willing to rotate towards A. Fugly lurking towards B. Those familiar smoke grenades, which will keep Android X entertained along with Ape. So NRG passive towards B. A, sorry. They had got B facing the wrong way. I think they're a bit scared of the pop flashes coming into main. And they've been effective in this match, so who can blame him?
Well, that's a bit of a a dampener for NRG, those smoke grenades. Ooh, also, that is somewhat of a dampener as well. Dev picks up the kill onto Legia. Very annoying. It does feel like they are probably going to go for a B play from this position, even though they have no presence earlier in the round towards B. But just that lack of success towards the A bomb site there. I mean, they have so much, they have time to go and start to try to entry towards that area, but they're just going to run up mid, try to split A, and right now it's not going so well. Losing another player in middle as the two players for NRG look to entry onto A again, but again, there's 3 players still on A for complexity, and they will limit the numbers here for NRG. 20 seconds to plant the bomb. And it looks like they're all falling one by one at this point until there's nobody left. And it almost feels like we're going to get another overtime because NRG are just also at a point in which they're looking somewhat uninspired in some of these rounds. And I think we're going to have a tactical pause from them coming in as they try to work out how to fix their issues. Because right now, Complexity are buying every round. They suddenly have all the money. They suddenly have loads of money. 13k almost on Ape, for example.
Yeah, NRG just need the one. They need a full buy and 1 round. That's what they require. Uber doing well at the moment. 28 kills onto him. Tabson on 26. Peter not far behind on 25. Legia just 10 kills for him in these 27 rounds that we've seen so far.
I'm still surprised
Same
that not every team has just the set, like the classic, you know, anti-eco, the Acer set pieces on A on this map. It's just so good.
Why would you spend an hour or two learning a really good execute that, which is a no-brainer?
I suppose.
Why would you do that?
Yeah, that's interesting. Anyways, the round progresses. The time has resumed, and NRG are in for a very, very fast B split. I like this though. Legia is just up middle. That's a really nice angle behind the smoke. Very hard to deal with, and Def will fall. So now Android's alone on the site. There is a Molotov from godb that could be deployed onto the bomb site, which would allow them to make the bomb plant happen very quickly. Oh yeah, I don't know where the Molotov went actually, but it didn't go into the bomb site, and Android's going to have time to get some cavalry in there to re-smoke it, but they have found their way into A, so it's actually worked out. That's really interesting. Just a massive reaction here from Complexity, and I don't blame them.
Oh, Legia is close to the car. Is Uber ready for this angle? He is. And that's going to speed Peter up. He's going for the default plant. Got 2 players in A main. Are they willing to cross now? Because Uber's at a significant advantage. There is armor on these players, but they haven't been able to pick up the rifle that was dropped earlier on. The CZ coming in from miles away. How many bullets can godb have in this situation? Manages to bait out the shoulder peak, but now it's Fugly. He's got a Tech 9, and he's got that close quarters advantage. Ape holding the angle though. Damage doesn't matter at this point. It's all about winning the round. And now NRG have another chance at a full buy.
Yeah, that was a good mid-round call from godb there, just to switch up the strategy. It felt like they wanted to finish the round on B, but I'm not sure where godb was, because he had the Molotov, James. He had the key Molotov to get that player on the bomb site to move out of cover. But I don't know where it went.
godb was in main with 8 HP.
Oh right.
Then he died.
No, I mean much earlier in the round.
He was somewhere else.
When they were executing B onto the B bomb site, but ooh, a bit of a run boost there. That position is really annoying to deal with. People are better at dealing with it though these days. I remember when people first started using it. I think was it like an I Power Cup or something. There was a cup where I think it was Shroud that got like a 3k there. Back when people first started really using that position, and it was really, really devastating.
I think it was Apex or Maniac. I think maybe Apex, who used to get tons of kills from there.
Maniac used to always be on there, I think, as well.
Maybe it was Maniac then. Maybe it was both. Perhaps it was both. Haven't seen much from Maniac's team recently.
Yeah, I think he used to anchor the A-bomb site, actually, generally, back in those days.
Back in the days, man. A lot of history in CSGO in a short few years. More history coming our way shortly when one of these teams makes it over the line. Complexity fighting for their life in this one. 3 players in B again. putting faith in their teammate boosted up.
Ooh, this is gonna get messy. There's no smoke for Surreal. He can just take all the shots. There's the smoke. A little bit late though. Already able to get a kill or two. They're onto the board on the complexity side. However, the bomb will be planted. This is going to be really interesting post-plant retake. Oh, where's that nigga going to go? Oh no! Did he plant? He didn't plant. He didn't plant the bomb, James. They have to remove their positions from deep
He's
in
on
checkers.
fire, man. He's blinded. He's on fire.
No.
Peter's going to fall to the flames again. Oh man.
Oh, that grenade. That is the MVP HE right there. Just like they're in the deepest positions on checkers. Yeah, you got to run to the bomb now. And they're both running for it, James. Running for their lives. The MVP
sailing
HE.
through the air. I saw a swan sailing through the air once, Dan, when I was fishing, and I cast my line out and accidentally clotheslined the swan, and it crashed into the riverbank. I haven't learned that smoke yet. Oh, he's messed it up. I know how to do that from the boost. I don't know where that one was from. It should not collide with the roof there. Should be slightly more to the right. So, intentions shown. tabseN will be in for a nasty surprise.
He's like, oh god.
Smartly though, he knows to do his jump arc early so he can peek A as he falls. Gonna get wrecked though. And we may be going to overtime after all, Dan, but maybe I spoke too soon, maybe I didn't speak too soon. Man advantage for the CTs, make it 2. That smoke always difficult for the Ts to deal with. God B versus 3. 25 HP. Can he get himself a 1 versus 1? There's a flank coming in from Android X through to main, and Surreal's over towards Cart. If God B walks backwards towards main, which he's going to do, then he may get shot in the head. He's not even going to check. He's not even going to check, Dan. There are 2 players. He's not even going to check. And we indeed are going to overtime.
These 2 teams, it's so funny how they match up in this way. Because I feel like they both have their own, like, they have their own problems. It's really interesting. And it also makes it impossible to predict. It's like impossible to predict. It's like every time you feel like one team's doing really well, all of a sudden there's a series of mistakes.
A catalogue of errors.
Or, you know, it's more those than it is exceptional play or being exceptionally, in some way, exceptionally outplayed by the opposition, I would say. I would say, you know, you'd be making it a little bit easier for the other team to get back into it, for example. Either way, we have seen some great stuff. You know, Def has been one of the players delivering here so far today for Complexity. And if he continues to deliver here, along with the likes of Surreal and Uber, then life will be good for Complexity. And they've already lost a man early here. And they did, I mean, when we got to overtime previously, they were able to close it out. Complexity actually beat NRG on the first map in the first overtime. So they have that over NRG already. And Uber, he's pushed into a deep position here on the door, the squeaky door, around to the back of A main here. So he'll hear anything that's going on in that direction. You have fast rotation time, you can have fast flanking time if they decide to go A. It's generally a great position. And finally we see Surreal get Molotov out of that position, but there's no one to do anything when he gets Molotov out of the position, James. There's no one to do anything.
Uber's coming in for the flank, but tabseN may hear it because he's still in the mid-vent area. And indeed, he must have heard it because there's a double peek coming in. There's a dink from Uber, but that's about it. And now the game is up for NRG, and they're going to go for the gamble run. But Complexity are already ahead of them. There's 30 seconds down. They have no time for this. tabseN's going to be really important here. Are they going to check short? Ape. This is sloppy. They're going back to B.
Well, it looks like NRG will just kill everyone now.
You could just do a jumping, I don't know if they've had flashbangs, but you could do a jumping right click release of a flashbang just in case. They didn't have any names at all. But yeah, I mean, you can't just assume that mid is completely empty.
It cost them the round. Because that flank was so devastating. And the NRG didn't have any time.
I mean, whoever flanked B, I mean, he got double peeked. There was a guy in Toxic peeking him and a guy close peeking him. And he must realize that he gave a sound cue away somewhere. Because, I mean, fair enough, one person's watching a flank right, but the double peek there, especially the guy in Toxic, just seems... I mean, I feel like it would ring a bell to me. NRG in the lead now by 1 round.
They stole that last one, I think.
Did they steal it or was it given away?
Yeah.
Combination of the both.
Yeah, I guess it was. Yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right, James. We get the mid smokes, the wall of smokes there. Haven't seen much of that actually so far in this matchup. I feel like that might even be one of the first times we've seen it.
I think so. Yeah, I think the first, definitely in this series, if you will. Android X going down, and there's potential for a B split. Molotovs flying in the same area, but there's a big chunk at the back, which is still open. 3 versus 3. The T's yet to make it to the site. The bomb's on the floor. Oh my god, if there's a spray down right now.
Yeah, your wish is his command. Oh my god, Legia. I feel very bad for Legia right now. He's so weak, and he will be eliminated. 16-16. Def had some really nice shots there, actually. That's one op flick down from the upper area by the ramp into B storage was gorgeous. So double op continues to reign in. Def and Surreal, so far so good. NRG, how are they going to play this one? Will they open with a default? So far it looks like it's a bit of a default from them. Very passive though. Fugly, it would be nice to see him work B storage a little bit like Get Right does. I think Get Right's still one of the best players in the world, maybe the best player in the world at opening up checkers with solo plays. And sometimes Get Right just gets both frags as well. It's amazing watching him play B storage as a T player. Fugly is slowly moving in. So there is presence all over the place for NRG. They've shown presence as well all over the place. Now comes time for the mid take. And with the information that they have, plus what they find out middle, that will essentially help them to decide which bomb site to split. If they can get middle, that is. So how do they get rid of Surreal? That's one problem they have to deal with. And, ooh, that is an important miss. He's going to stay close. He's going to stay close. This could be dangerous. Oh, I don't think he didn't actually fire a shot off there. Very unfortunate. Another flash for him to go in, but it's just not working out for Surreal.
2 T's in the middle area. Fights on the A site, however. Z connects to CT has gone down as well. Bomb is on the floor. Full rotation coming in. 35 seconds. And a man advantage. Oh, Surreal with the nade in his hand. He's going to go back, isn't he? He's going to go back.
Don't do it.
Oh no, so good. There we go. Down goes Peter. This is insane at the moment.
I don't know what's going on.
Ape is in a really good spot. Def can bait for him, but he's not going to win the duel. Neither duel won. NRG take a lead going into the second half.
It's so unpredictable. These rounds are so unpredictable. It's crazy. It is crazy. All those one-on-ones there. That was so funny. That was really comical. The one-on-one there with Surreal, where his gun barrel keeps poking out, and Peter's like, Peter really wants to peek him. Goes to the peek, then there's the miss. Oh, that was amazing. It would have been amazing if there was one more miss from both players. That would have made my day. I would have loved to have seen that. That would have been so funny. But NRG do take a narrow lead, moving into the second half of the first overtime. And you know, they move on to the CT side. They have had a lot of struggles here. I mean, Complexity have shown that they have a lot of good rounds. But some rounds just seem to fall so flat, and it seems so hard to predict when they're going to start having problems. I believe they got the first 5 or 6 rounds of their T side in a row on regular time.
Yeah. This is well, we did say we didn't know how to predict it, and it was anyone's, but yeah, I don't know. Uber and Tabson close to the 40 bomb, both players. Who will get there first, Dan? Who's going to get there first? That's the question. There is a pause, by the way, because one of the players is using the facilities.
Which facilities?
He will be back soon. The photocopier facilities, Dan, in the gaming house.
It's dirty pots and pans.
Oh, by the way, I got a reply from Valve.
Oh, yeah.
So I emailed them and said, well, I'll paraphrase. I said I was shocked and disgusted at the level of the pots and pans, the state of the pots and pans in the new Inferno kitchen, considering the kitchen's been updated. And I formally request updated pots. And they said that they're hearing a lot of, but they are cast iron in the office. So they'll have to wait and see about the pots.
Fair enough. Fair enough. They should. Apparently, is it copper pots that are like the best ones?
Copper.
Yeah. I think it's something about copper because it's stainless and nothing gets stuck to it.
I have not heard about copper pots.
I think it's copper. There is some material that's godlike, and I was surprised to hear of it.
Copper. I can't imagine. I don't know.
Can't be brass.
Who makes pots from brass?
Exactly.
Wouldn't that be really heavy?
I don't think you care too much if your pots are super heavy.
Well, I mean, the old people would.
I suppose so, yeah.
Yeah. But you can make non-stick surfaces, right? But it's more for like frying pans.
A lot of the non-stick surfaces, they degrade.
There's a frying pan that's gross. 17 to 16, NRG have a lead. We'll see how much that means. It's one round for them to get to match point. Peter's going for a timing push, but he's completely blind. He has surely been spotted. He's been spotted, but his teammate will save him. His teammate will come in like Black Beauty, Dan, and Peter will jump on that horse.
Don't know what that means, but okay.
Well, Black Beauty was the majestic animal who ran through with the woods with dramatic music. So I don't even know what the storyline was, but I'll deem it to be a hero.
I do remember it. It was like a black stallion or something.
It must have been a hero of some description. So we'll go with that. Man advantage for NRG. Can they make it to match point against Complexity, who have 1:10 on the clock? Uber is deep towards Toxic, holding off angles at present, but perhaps there's no reason for NRG to push with this advantage. Peter's now over toward Main, holding angles, and Main has been smoked off by the CTs. So see what Complexity choose to do. So Complexity, was that a smoke or a flash? I think it was a flash towards short. Either way, Tabson's been taken down. Can he be traded? He's got a nade in his hand. The trades continue. Down to a 2 versus 2. The bomb needs to cross to the site. Smoke's been messed up in CT. It will be re-smoked. Counter flashes from the CTs. 30 seconds, so the time pressure is not humongous just yet. Peter spots Uber, who stands still for too long. And now Def can't go for the plant because there are 2 players there. He will fall to the flames, and it will be match point NRG. He's going straight to hell with that picture.
Can they take it over the line? There are 2 opportunities to do so.
Did you say opportunities?
No, I did not.
I sincerely hope not.
Because I think the way Sadicus says op, it almost makes you think of that.
He says up.
App. Okay, he does? Okay.
Well, he's like North American.
Had to get the American in there somehow. Yeah, it's funny how he says Olaf Meister. It's like Olaf. I can't do it either way. Enough about his accents. We are going to be moving on here to a deep mid presence here from Legia, and it's going to be quite. It's always kind of scary when you're backing away from close mid.
T-side double ops, that.
Yeah.
T-side double ops on Cash. Perhaps as interesting as on Mirage. So far, so good. Surreal delivering. The other op's gone in the meantime. There it is, falling at his feet. Bombs are going to be collected. And this is just turning into a duel fest at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. NRG getting that early information and the pick on A, and then the trades not working out perfectly there for Complexity mid. But now they have to go. They've got to make the play into the bomb site. There's no other choice. And they choose A, and it seems like NRG in a really good position. If Legia just gets 1 or 2 kills, that's it. Fugly helps out. Surely there's nothing that can be done from this position. Android has got to kill 4 players. He has 35 seconds to do it. He's got the bomb on his back at the very least. He's got a lot of nades, but there are so many guys to deal with right now. And they are not going to be peeking him, hopefully, in any untoward fashion.
He is running out of time to plant the bomb and or kill 4 people. He's got 20 seconds now to 1 versus 4. 15 seconds to 1 versus 4. 10 seconds to 1 versus 4.
I was so afraid there, James, that that he would catch them both from the flank. But someone was looking. NRG close it, which means they go 1-1 against Complexity. And I can't help but feel like, especially after their last result on Cash against them, which was a 16-10 or 16-11, that they will be slightly disappointed with that. Also, I feel like, you know, to defeat Complexity in a stronger fashion would send a much stronger statement to the rest of the league.